Welcome to Brier's Music Showcase. I'm Bryer and welcome back to another video. And we are finally at the final episode of my CD collection series. It's, again, I've said this before, but I feel like it's gone a bit longer than it should. But you know, stuff happens, and so better late than never. So here we go. This is part 9, and as you can see, I have all this stuff here. So in this one, we're going through all the different miscellaneous CDs that I have that aren't part of the main collection. A lot of these are here because one, they're in slim cases, and slim cases don't look as good up there. And also there might be some other things about the packaging that makes it difficult to store in there. But should be interesting. I'm going to try and get through this quickly. So if you have enjoyed this series, please give this video a like, subscribe if you are new, and without further ado, let's just jump into it. So here we go. We're going to be starting with over here. Hopefully you can see that, but we'll start with these first because I have multiple of these. So finally going to showcase some more Beach Boys. I shown a couple in part 1, but here's some more that I didn't show in that first episode. Here, of course, I mean, Pet Sounds had to be in the collection at some point. But again, as you can see, it's in this very slim, skinny case, which I already talked about before. So, yep, had to, of course, classic album, love it to death. Sunflower, a very underrated album, love this one as well. Very strong album for their 70s output. As well as this one, of course, we have Surf's Up. Great album, kind of a darker album, which is pretty cool. Alright, next, here's some more black metal. Here is a band called Emperor. This is their first album, I believe. This is In the Night Side Eclipse. Very cool cover, very symphonic sounding. It just takes your black metal, incorporates some more symphonic elements, some more keyboards that you normally would hear in black metal. Pretty cool. I like this quite a bit. And here was their follow-up to that album. This one is called Anthems to the Welkins at Dusk. Pretty dark album though, both figuratively and literally, because I really can't tell what's going on the album because it's so dark and green. Oh well. Here's some John Lennon. Here we have Plastic Ono Band. I've shown this off recently in my 70s series, so if you have not watched my 70s series, please go give it a watch. This was mentioned in 1970 to be exact. Of course, then we have Imagine. Great follow-up song, album, though the song's good too. And here's Paul McCartney, and here is Egypt Station. This is one of his later albums, came out in 2018 if I remember correctly. Very solid album, and the packaging is pretty unique because you can fold it out to here. It's not sure if this can pick it up, but it's probably longer than my arm, surprisingly, which is kind of interesting. But again, you have all the lyrics, and then you have the full artwork on this side. So pretty interesting. So yep. Now this one is kind of curious because my uncle gave me this Linkin Park thing. I think it was only given to like people in the fan club or something like that. And my uncle gave me it. It came with a shirt. The shirt was way too small, so I couldn't wear it anyway. But we have this one. This is called Underground 7. And I have no idea what's in here. I have not played it. It's still in shrink wrap, and I don't know if I want to know what's in here. If you know what this is, let me know in the comments. But yeah, interesting. Now this one didn't actually come in its own case. I actually had to get a disc-only copy on Discogs because this particular album is actually kind of rare. And the band is called The Blasters, and this is their self-titled album, just called The Blasters. So if you don't know who The Blasters are, they're kind of this 80s kind of a rockabilly band. But yeah, very interesting album. I got this because I think a couple people in the VC have talked about it before, and the album cover is definitely very interesting. Again, it's a shame it's not here, but I'll put a picture of the original album right up there so you can see. Yep, it's an interesting cover, but the music is pretty good. If you like rockabilly music, this is a good listen. And here we're finally going to show my Led Zeppelin stuff. Of course, we have the debut, of course. Again, classic, one of the great debuts in my opinion. Then we have Led Zeppelin 2. Now this looks like it could be in the collection, but it's just slightly taller than a typical jewel case, which again, kind of annoying. So that's why it's separated. Same with Led Zeppelin 4, Untitled, Man with Stick, whatever you want to call it. Houses of the Holy. And of course, my favorite Led Zeppelin album now, of course, is Physical Graffiti. Again, it's in its very unique packaging. Again, trying to replicate what it would have been on record. Again, you can take out the windows. It comes with all the discs in there. Now these ones are interesting. Actually, let me get to this one first, and then we get to the next one. Next up, we have King Crimson. We have Larks, Tongues, and Aspic. Again, a little taller than a jewel case, so I couldn't fit it. But it's just this is a CD plus a DVD. It comes with the DVD too. The CD just has the original stereo remix and with a couple bonus tracks, and then the DVD has some 5.1 surround sound mix. And it also comes with video content, such as some live footage of the band at the time. So pretty cool. Now let's talk about these. This one, we have the Kinks. We have Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Round Part 1. And what's cool about this one is that it's actually in a hardback book version. So it actually functions like an actual book, which is pretty cool. And I have a couple more just like that. Here, some Saxon. So Saxon, very pretty, kind of not like a household name when it comes to heavy metal, but they definitely have a big fan base. So again, same as the Kinks one, it also comes in these hardback books. Again, just open it up, just gives you some different lyrics and artworks and photos, and the discs are usually at the very end in this little pouch. And then, by the way, this one's Wheel of Steel, by the way. And then we have Denim and Leather, which is the exact same thing, still in the hardback. There's the disc in its pouch. Then you just flip the pages through, you have lyrics and other goodies. Alright, so after that, we have these type of packaging, which is supposed to replicate a vinyl album if you were to buy it on record. So here we have Gentle Giant. Yes, I actually do have another Gentle Giant album, and that is Three Friends, which is their third album, I think. It's been a while since I've heard it, but I think I enjoyed it last time I heard it. We have another Midnight Oil album. We have Blue Sky Mining, very cool. And what's cool about these is that sometimes they even give you the original liner notes just in CD form. And even as a little cute novelty, they'll actually design the CD to look like a record, which is kind of cool. That's kind of cute. Right, and then after that we have Nazareth with No Mean City. Pretty good album. I liked it a lot. Okay, shout out to Adam from What the Gym. He actually was the one who recommended this album. This is a band called Camp, which is they're kind of a folk rock sort of band, a modern folk rock band. This came out in 2022 actually. 2022 this came out. This album's called Lavender Days. Pretty nice. I really enjoyed this one. Very cool. Metallica. We have For Justice for All and sorry, let me say that again. And Justice for All and Justice for All. There we go. God, that was hard to say for some reason. But yep, first album with Jason Newsted. First one without Cliff Burton. You can definitely feel the emotion in this one, especially from James and Lars and Kirk as well, because they definitely took it pretty hard. But of course, this is every bass player's worst nightmare because this album's notorious because James and Lars decided to just lower the volume on the bass solo. It's basically not there, which is kind of a shame. What a great way to welcome your new bass player, guys. Anyhow, now we get to some Neil Young. Here we have After the Gold Rush. Very nice album, very good. It's great songs in that. Now here we have the Beatles, and we have Revolver. Of course, when I saw this, by the way, I got this at a Rite Aid, surprisingly. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, cool, Revolver, that'll be a good one to get. And when I got home, at first I thought it was cool. But then I realized upon research, there was actually songs missing from this. And that's because this is supposed to be a replica of the US version of Revolver, where they cut out like 3 songs. So yeah, once I found out, I felt cheated. So I do have Revolver. I got the new remix up there. I showed in part 1. But yeah, I still have it around. Kind of a collector's thing now, but kind of interesting. It even comes in a little sleeve like a record would, which is kind of cool. Alright, here's a really great find. We have the Mahavishnu Orchestra with John McLaughlin. And this is the album called The Inner Mounting Flame. Great jazz fusion, great guitar work, and the whole band is incredible. Definitely want to check out more of them. Now here are 2 great surprises when I first heard about these albums. Found these out last year. We have Weyes Blood. Here's her 2019 release, Titanic Rising. Fantastic album. Love it. And then we have her follow-up to Titanic Rising. This came out last year. This is And in the Darkness, Hearts Aglow. Also a very good album. Alright, and then from then on we have the Small Faces. Here we have Ogden's Nut Gone Flake. Of course, very weird album, especially side 2. Side 2 is definitely a trip. But there's some good songs on here. This probably might be an album I need to listen to more, but it's pretty interesting. That's all I'll say. Alright, let's showcase some more slim cases. We have the Cars. What is this called again? Heartbeat City. Had to think about it for a sec. Then we have Oasis. What's the Story? Morning Glory. Jesus Christ Superstar. Love it. Have it on record. Then we have Greta Van Fleet. Once again with The Battle of Garden's Gate. I haven't heard their latest one yet, so we'll see if I'll check that out at some point. Then we have Steve Perry. Steve Perry, of course, formerly of Journey. Here's a solo album of his called Traces. It was his first solo album in like decades, really. Then this came out in 2018, and I quite like it. I think Steve still sounds pretty good at this point. Okay, Paul McCartney once again. This one is called Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. Pretty solid. Still need to give this another listen. Still hasn't quite fully clicked with me yet. Then we have Lindsey Buckingham and Christine McVie. This is probably the closest reunion to the classic Fleetwood Mac lineup we'll ever get. And sadly we'll never get, because of course with Christine McVie's passing. But yeah, you still have Lindsey Buckingham, Christine McVie, like I mentioned. But then you have Mick Fleetwood and John McVie also on here. So again, if Stevie Nicks decided to join in, then it would have been a Fleetwood Mac album. But it didn't. Oh well, but still pretty solid album. Belinda Carlisle, here is Heaven on Earth. Of course, with the with the big hit on here, Heaven is a Place on Earth. Love that song. Tears for Fears. Here is The Tipping Point, their latest album. Very good. Chicago 2, of course by Chicago. Colin Hay, So now this is called Now and the Evermore. Again, shout out to Adam. This was another album he suggested, and yeah, pretty good. Of course, Colin Hay from Men at Work, which I've shown one of their albums in the past. Then we have Nick Drake with Pink Moon. Yeah, again, very sad album, but yeah, the acoustic playing is pretty good, and yeah, it's just really good singer-songwriter material. Kind of a shame he died very young. Alright, next, Don McLean, American Pie. Again, classic title track, and the whole album is very good as well. Then we have the Ramones with their debut. I mean, you have Bliss Creek Bop, Beat on the Brats, I Want to Be Your Boyfriend, 53rd and 3rd. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the big standouts of punk music. Alright, so now we're nearly there. Now I'm going to quickly talk about some box sets I have. I don't have that many. I don't really buy that many box sets because they're pretty expensive. But we have a good amount over here. So first up, we have America. These are kind of these 5-in-1 packs, which comes with 5 CDs. So this is America, of course. And it comes with their first 5 albums. So of course you have the debut. Then you have Homecoming. Ooh, excuse me, they almost slid off. Then you have Hat Trick, which is probably my least favorite of this collection, but not too bad. Then you have Holiday. And finally you have Hearts, which I believe George Martin produced. So let's go ahead and put them away. Just kind of stuff them in there, you know. There we go. Okay, after that we have the Doobie Brothers. This one comes with, they're out of order, so let me just fix that. So we have Talau Street, their second album. Then The Captain and Me. What were once vices are now habits. Stampede. And it also comes with Taking It to the Streets. First one with Michael McDonald on the lead vocals. Next, the Guess Who. This is a good one. If you want to get into the Guess Who, this is a good one to get. So this one comes with Canned Wheat, very good album. American Woman with the classic title track. Share the Land. So Long Bonatine, I don't know how you say it. Then, probably my favorite of this collection is Rockin'. Alright, I know Nick is going to like this one. We have the Hollies. So like before, it comes with their first 5 albums. So, starts with their debut, Stay with the Hollies. Then you have In the Hollies Style. Then you have just Hollies. Would You Believe? And finally, probably again my favorite of this collection, we have For Certain Because. Just fix those and we'll slide them in. Okay, Journey. This one comes with Infinity, the first with Steve Perry. Then you have Evolution. Then you have Escape, classic. Frontiers, and Raised on Radio. And then the last of these 5-in-1 packs, we have the Monkees. Here's the debut. Then we have more of the Monkees. Headquarters. Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited. Possibly my favorite, by the way. Then you have the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees. Alright, then we have these thick box sets. We have George Harrison, All Things Must Pass. I unboxed this a while ago on this channel. I can't remember which one though, but yep, this is a 50th anniversary edition. I mean, disc 1, disc 2 has the album, and then disc 3 has a bunch of session outtakes and jams. So yeah, awesome. Okay, next we have ZZ Top. This one is a very good one. Comes with their first 10 albums. So we'll quickly showcase what's inside. So of course you have their debut, ZZ Top's first album. Then we have Rio Grande Mud, Tres Hombres, Fandango, Digueo, Tejas. This might be my favorite, by the way. El Loco. Then we have the big one, Eliminator. Afterburner. And finally, Recycler. Alright, so we're nearly there. Oop, and there we go, my background fell asleep again. Again, keeping this in, of course, not cutting this part. Then we have Bad Company. This one comes with the first 6 albums. Here's their debut classic album, classic debut. Then we have Straight Shooter. Then we have Run with the Pack, Burning Sky. This one is called Desolation Angels. And the last one is Rough Diamonds. Well, as you can see, it looks like we're done, but there's still one more thing to talk about. So, let me put those to the side. We gotta talk about that. So, let's bring it down. And that is this. We have Pink Floyd. This is the Discovery box set. This has their pretty much all their albums except The Endless River. It stops at Division Bell. So this is a used copy. I got this used. I think I talked about it in one of the episodes where I showed the Division Bell earlier, but I'll kind of recap that once we get there. But this is a cool box set. This was a great way to get into Pink Floyd. Comes with this like graphic art booklet, which has a lot of the famous artwork that they've put out over the years. Pretty cool. Of course, the big thing are the albums. So of course it starts out with the debut, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Yeah, put them back. Saucerful Full of Secrets. Then we have their soundtrack to More. Here's Amagama, or Umaguma, whatever you want to pronounce it. Here's Atom Heart Mother. Then we have Metal. Now things are really starting to get good. Of course, there's Obscured by Clouds, but then it's kind of a transitional thing. It's a soundtrack. Then you have the big hitter. Of course, there's Dark Side of the Moon. Then after that, you have Wish You Were Here. Just classic stuff. Absolutely phenomenal music. You have Animals. Then my personal favorite, The Wall. And you know, then you get the final cut, which is fine. Then you have a monetary lapse of reason. It's also fine. But then you have the division bell, which this is, again, kind of recapping. Yes, it did come with it, but the reason why I got that version was because I got it used. Not all the CDs came in great condition. This was probably got the worst, so I ended up getting that other one. But I still have it, just so there's no empty space in the box. All right, so put that there. Let's go ahead. Let's just put these back over here, and then we'll close out this video and I'll give some final words. So there you have it. We have officially gone through every CD in my CD collection as of 2023. Again, this was a very daunting task of just going through all these CDs, just kind of reflecting on where the collection was and where it is now. It's still growing. Again, space is going to be an issue, but we're almost to 1,000 at this point, so we're going to keep going. Let's see if we can make it there. But other than that, thank you so much for sticking with this series all the way through. Hopefully this was entertaining. Comment below if you want to see, if you want a full movie where I just put all the episodes together into one to make so it'll make one long video like I did with 2022. I might do it anyway, but just saying. But yeah, that's about it. Again, let me know what was your favorite in this episode, and until then, I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye for now.